Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to this taste challenge between Old Thompson American Whiskey a Blend, introduced to 19 over 80 proof, bottled by Glenmore Distilleries, Owensboro, Kentucky. That's where they really are. And Bardstown, Kentucky. That's where they really aren't. 80% grain neutral spirits. Now, I'll explain what I mean by that. Bottle looks like label got torn. Premium. Yeah, for $7.99. Hard to believe, huh? For a liter now. $7.99 a liter premium. Glenmore was started way back, all right, that distillery in Owensboro in the 1800s. It got bought out by the Thompson brothers, and so they call it Old Thompson, I think in honor of their father. And then it got bought out by Barton, and then Barton got bought out by Sazerac in 2009. So it's under the Sazerac umbrella. Glenmore is still an actual place. They age a lot of bourbon there. They bottle it, blend it. It's been recently renovated. I have some nice photos I'm going to put on Alcohol Eggs about that coming up. So $7.99 at Total Wine and More. The competitor, Gran Legacy. You say, well, Gran Legacy, and it's got a crown. You say, oh, it must be from Canada or England. No, it's from Kentucky. The copper pot still. So it has a label that's at least not drab like most of these. It's got some kind of nice brown, black, and gold trim. Looks kind of nice. It has a crown. In Kentucky, don't believe is a kingdom, but anyway, American blend, and then it explains it. Blended whiskey with natural flavors. Okay, so they're adding natural flavors. At least they're telling us. It's also 80 proof, no blend ratio. Oh, forgot to put that on my notes. Bottled by the Legacy Distilling Company, Louisville, Kentucky. So now we got Bardstown, Owensboro, and Louisville. Well, guess what? Guess who owns a place in Louisville? Yeah, Evan Williams, but Sazerac. Sazerac is doing this for CVS Pharmacy, but don't believe that you can only get it at CVS Pharmacy. I've been fooled enough times by seeing Walmart brands at liquor stores, Albertsons brands at various liquor stores. So it might be, the trademark says it's owned by CVS Pharmacy, but don't be shocked if you see it at some other liquor store. And I can't explain that, but that is the case that they gave me. Okay. No blend ratio. Let me edit my notes. No blend, no listed blend ratio. Old Thompson, 80-20 blend ratio. Okay, I like to have good information. Okay, somebody said in the comments, y'all are working hard to make good content. I said, well, I'm going to answer it later. I don't think it's work. It's like a hobby, something to do, something good, productive to do. But others may argue that. But now, do they have colors added on this Gran Legacy? Seems rather dark for a blended whiskey. Okay, let's just get on with it. Old Thompson OT. This is not OT. Okay. You say price. Oh, yes. This Gran Legacy, beautiful plastic bottle, nothing like the thud of plastic. Has a built-in pour. That does make it convenient, but it comes out so fast, you got to watch it. It just comes. It's built in the way it doesn't have that back pressure in it. It doesn't chug a lug out. It just flows. And with an even flow. All right. Vanessa Kitty says hi. Hello to you, Vanessa Kitty. Thanks for watching. All right, so I think I got it for $10.99 on a discount. CVS had been selling it for $11.99, but I got it for $10.99. Crazy price, huh? With the CVS card, you know, they got that card. Big old handle bottle like that for $10.99. That's unusually low, because if I get the straight bourbon, well, that's straight bourbon, but I can get straight bourbon in the same big bottle, and it's $14.99. sometimes more. But I've never bought Winn-Dixie straight bourbon whiskey, and probably never will. Okay, Old Thompson, $7.99 a liter. So, yes, CVS pharmacy here in this town does sell liquor. There's a liquor section, but it's not like separated from the store. It's got like, there's like magazines and then some like candy, and then the liquor section, which isn't really only one aisle. It's not behind the counter. You just pick what you want and you buy it. Now they got some of those anti-theft devices on it, which is good. If you go to Walgreens and buy liquor, it's behind the counter. You got to tell the lady, I want that. Low prices are best. Yeah. Sometimes you taste it and then you think, maybe not. Okay. I never buy liquor at Walgreens because they're so expensive. I never buy anything at Walgreens because they're so expensive. Our CVS don't have liquor here that I know of. I don't know what state you're in, but some states are very strict. This state is not one of them. Appearance. Tan, clear, appearance. It's got a different shade of tan, but I can't describe it. It's like more, it's not darker than this one, but it seems more brown. I don't understand how that can work. But it's not going to be a big, Connecticut, very strict. Oh yeah, well, that makes sense. Mississippi, you can't buy liquor at any gas station or grocery store or drugstore in Mississippi or Texas. No way, no way. Mississippi's east and northeast of us. Texas is directly west of us. You got to buy liquor at a liquor store only and never on a Sunday. Same thing with Mississippi. You can't even buy beer on a Sunday in half that state. It doesn't matter if it's before 12, after 12, can't buy it. And we wanted to get that Busch Ice before 12, after 12, can't buy it. And we wanted to get that Busch Ice. My friend David was like, I'm going to get some Busch Ice to take home. I said, I bet you not. And we stopped at places that didn't have it. And they were like, yeah, you can buy a beer on Sunday, but after noon, it was in the morning. Then the places that had it, they're like, we can't sell any kind of liquor. What'd they say? We can't sell any kind of beer on Sunday. I said, oh boy, he was mad. Comical. And in Arkansas, directly north of Louisiana, they're even more strict. You can't buy any alcohol anywhere in the state on Sunday. Beer, wine, or liquor. Texas is no liquor on Sunday, but beer and wine, fine. So Arkansas is really strict. Oh, really irritating too, let me tell you. Texas has drive-through liquor warehouses. Yes, we have those here, drive-through liquor stores. We have drive-through daiquiri shops. I buy on a military base when states don't sell on Sunday. Yeah, maybe Indian reservations are the same. Looks bronze color. Yes, that's a good description, bronze. Let's see. What am I thinking? Yeah, drive-through daiquiri shops here. There's one close to my house, and I mean, you can't have an open container anymore in Louisiana, so they give you the daiquiri with the straw in it, but there's the paper left on top of the straw, the little piece of paper. So it's not an open container. Now, if it blows off the top of the straw or whatever, that's on you when you drive off, but that's how they do it. Price is, Gran Legacy is cheaper, but it's been a few years since I bought it. It could have gone up. I know Old Thompson is this price. I was there today at Total Wine. Then I went to the comic shop and bought the wrong book. I got to go back there Saturday. I was so irritated when I got home. I was supposed to get number 1023, and then I got Detective Comics 1029. I don't need that one. That one's coming in the mail. Well, we assume. Yeah, it's cheaper. The Gran Legacy is cheaper. Is it going to taste better or worse? It's going to taste different, at least, because it's got the natural flavors added, or whatever those are. I don't know. I get the feeling it's some kind of vanilla extract or oak extract. As long as it's from the natural product, it's a natural flavoring. If it's some chemical that tastes like bananas, then that would be artificial flavoring. Or tastes like vanilla, that'd be artificial vanilla. This is natural. I remember that from living at Barksdale Air Force Base in the early 80s. Oh yeah. In Bossier City, by Shreveport. I would imagine they're stricter up there. A daiquiri to go in a drive-through, anything not enclosed and still sealed is a crime. But some restaurants can sell cocktails to go with the meals. Laughing out loud, pandemic rules. Well, if you're going to take something that's dumb as a scandemic, you may as well make dumb rules to go along with it. I was so aggravated today. I was saying people fall for this. They fall for this. I never heard so much fear mongering as I heard on the radio today, all day long. It was basically, you're all going to die. And I was like, these people are crazy. Maxwell, hey, Ron. Hey, Maxwell, banana ester smells like banana, but no banana. You can make it in a test tube. Yeah, well, that would be an artificial flavoring or aroma. Okay, this smells very mild. There's not much aroma, that first one. The second one here. Same thing. It's like, well, I was reading on the Total Wine and More website about Old Thompson and to talk about these rich, vibrant. Yeah, it's a lot of that. You can read it yourself. Look up Old Thompson on Total Wine and More. Sounds great, but then buy it, and then you're like, well, where's all those aromas they were talking about? My answer is I wondered the same thing, but I'm not picking on Old Thompson because I wondered the same thing when it's Scotch, single malt Scotch, straight bourbon. They'll give all these descriptors. But with straight bourbon, it might be 20 different tasting notes and aroma notes. And then you taste it and you smell it and you're saying, oh, no, it doesn't seem that complex to me. So no open containers ever yet. All of a sudden, it's okay to pick up cocktails to go with a burger. Right. So that's to placate the servants, meaning the citizens, so there's not a massive uprising, which hopefully will. All right. Kevin Johnson, sorry I'm late to this challenge. Have you declared a victor yet? No. Just did the aroma. Appearances are tie. They both look fine. The aromas are tie. They don't smell like much. Cost, well, now Gran Legacy's in the lead at this point. I got to buy a new toaster oven. I was trying to heat up that pie, and I was like, this thing is not hot. And then I noticed the top burner is out. I said, well. I got a lot of use out of that thing, no doubt. You could replace the burner, but the burner might cost, the heating element cost more than the dang oven from Walmart. So Gran Legacy is ahead of the game because it's cheaper by about $3 for the big bottle. So keep that in mind. I can get the big bottle of Old Thompson, but I never would do it. Taste. Vanilla and nut oil and sugar. I can't read without my glasses. I can read without my glasses, but not from far away. What were the prices for the 750? Snow in Moscow right now, cold. It's chilly right here, but it's not cold by any stretch. We had 3 inches of snow before Halloween here. We had snow here in 2017. I don't know the 750 price, but Old Thompson is $7.99 for a liter, and the Gran Legacy was about $10.99 for the 1,750 milliliter. These prices can fluctuate a little bit. They won't fluctuate much, but still in all, you're going to probably save $1 on this liter, and you'll probably save $2 on the jug bottle, the handle bottle, because being a private label brand ostensibly, because like I said, it might show up in some other liquor stores, you usually pay less. Oh, and there's Gran Legacy Canadian whiskey, Gran Legacy Scotch, Gran Legacy Clear Rum, Gran Legacy Gold Rum, Gran Legacy Vodka, Gran Legacy Tequila. They got the whole thing over there at CVS. And I bet they're all just wonderful. Yeah, maybe I wouldn't make that bet. How about Corona situation in USA, says Maxwell. Oh, well, It depends who you ask. If you ask me, it's a hobgoblin. If you listen to the news, there's no hope. Everyone will die. You must follow all orders at all times. Well, this is late for you. Yeah, because this is for Friday. Vanessa Kitty had about 1/4 inch on the roof then. Cheers, Ron. No vitamin taste to these. No, not yet. Okay. Just like I said, vanilla, oak, and sugar. Lots of sugar. These whiskeys, this whiskey tastes like sugar. Okay, over here, let's go with this one. I got to put my glass on. Glasses on. Our governor here in Virginia is, oh yeah. Oh yeah, well, what do you expect from totalitarianists? Mussolini's would be easygoing, not as strict as he is. Enjoy the decline says, hey, Ron, hope you're hanging in there. I'm trying to. Sorry for the language. Yeah. Yeah, that governor is like Mussolini, but more stricter and less effective. And I'm not talking about foreign policy and warfare. Virginia it's not a foreign country. It's not an independent country. It's not going to go to war with Yugoslavia. All right. Brown sugar, how come you taste so good? Well, in this case, it tastes so, sugary. All right. I'll tell you who's scared. Folks with elderly parents with emphysema. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You see, they created a fear psychosis. So once you create a fear psychosis in people, you got it. You have it. You got it in the bag. When tyranny becomes law, resistance becomes duty. Yes. That's right. Who voted for Trump? Now they're getting political. I wear yes or no. I voted Trump even though he doesn't drink, laughing out loud. It's true. He doesn't smoke cigarettes either, just like Hitler, who never drank alcohol or smoked cigarettes. But he was also a vegetarian, but I know Trump likes meat. Okay, all right. And they're both fond of younger women. Anyway, does meth. Listen to this. Thought this was getting political. It always gets political, Anton. All right, Anton. I think this is the flavored one. Meth. Oh, I know what y'all are talking about. Well, you see, back in those days in Germany, they were just discovering methamphetamine, and they didn't really understand it too well, and they weren't too aware of side effects. So they thought it was like one of these wonder drugs, like, oh, it's really great. It's a stimulant. But then they realized later, oh, like around 1944, this is not good. Let's scrap it. But so then the United States government started promoting it, like immediately. And I'm not joking, like overnight, the US government is promoting it. And then all of a sudden in Los Angeles, California, it's methamphetamine, baby. Everybody was talking about like 1945, 46. Everybody was fooling with that stuff. And, it's a cure-all. And there was a name for them. They called them, there was a name. It was like a nickname. Oh, I can't remember. But then you started having really strange crimes like Black Dahlia and all these like crazy murders, And it just escalated up until 1969 with the family and La Bianca and all that. All right. And a lot of that was methamphetamine fueled. But the Germans did, you're right, mess with it a lot. The second one here is more coffee-like. You say coffee. Coffee-like. Kevin Johnston said, I wonder if I can find those bourbons here in Virginia. Well, they're not actually bourbons. They're made with about 20% straight bourbon, but they have 80% filler. which would be just unaged corn whiskey, raw corn whiskey. So it's a kind of whiskey called blended. And well, they have a following, of course, because every store sells it. They gave it to soldiers, right, says Anton. Yeah, mainly pilots, because the pilots would be flying a long time, and they'll get drowsy, they'd be crashing, wrecking like truck drivers do. And that's why a lot of truck drivers got hooked on methamphetamine, because of that same thing. But they, at first, initially, they said, oh, it's very effective because you get some sharp and all. But then as time went on, the studies were showing, no, it's bad. The situation is worse than drowsy. They're worse. It's worse. Don't do it. Don't. So they just cut it out. It was not working out. I rarely see folks get too mad over politics on this channel. And Ron brings on folks from different ends of the spectrum. It's true. I got left wing, right wing, middle wing. And they usually seem to be pretty calm. Maybe I have a very calming effect on these volatile people, because I know when they do hangouts, on other hangouts, when I'm asleep at night, or I could be awake in the morning at 3 in the morning, but I just don't want to join because usually I'm listening to beer reviews and I'm so far behind right now. I want to catch up. So, but I'll check. They'll be fighting, screaming, hollering, kicking each other out of each other's groups, calling each other assortment of names. And I say, well, I'm glad I wasn't part of that. And it'd be the same stuff we were talking about. You say, yeah, but they were drinking all night. And yes, that's probably another part of the flashpoints. Now, Nina said meth did save that one Nazi, or, well, National Socialist soldier's life after destroying it. I don't know what she's talking about. Cheers all, says Tim. Hey, Tim, you a coffee drinker, Ron? Yeah, I drink it all the time, constantly. In the morning, 3 cups. They enjoyed the pleasures of sin for a season, as the saying goes. Right. It wasn't really pleasures, because it was given as a medicine. You understand? A medicine. They thought it's going to cure these problems. And it did short term, but they didn't realize the incredibly bad negative side effects. So then that migrated to the USA, and it's really bad here. I think Germany had sort of died out, but then over here it just escalated for the last 75 years. I never had any interest in that, because first of all, I don't have any interest in that. I got enough stuff to do. But I knew people that would fool around with that stuff, and they'd just be crazy out their head. And I would say, well, you're crazy out of your head. To go to these clubs all night taking ecstasy. I just thought they were crazy. I said, that's dangerous. You can't tell people anything, because how do you tell people stuff when they know everything? They know everything. And the people I knew that were flying on that stuff, they knew everything. Now, a lot of them have gotten off of it and said, ooh, that's a bad recreational thing. Kevin Johnston says, I don't mind other people's opinions. I don't mind them either, actually. I don't ever get angry on Facebook. I make people angry, but I don't even really try to. I just post comments just to see what people are going to say, and not to be provocative, just curious. I'm actually curious what they're going to say about it. It's kind of like, hey, I'll just say, well, check out this article, and then whatever they say. And then people will call me, why'd you post that? And I'll tell them the exact reason I just told you. I may not even necessarily agree with the article. I'm just saying this is what this person said. Anton says, it's okay. Well, I'm not going to even address that. I always joke about maybe I could lose weight. Yeah. All right. Okay. Too much comedy hijinks now. They say to seek people with different tastes. We used to study that in psychology class. Matchmaking, mating, husband and wife, families. And the people that get along, and the students would always say, opposites attract. I say, yeah, but what does studies show? They don't It's like magnets. They attract, but then they repel. People that get along the best in marriages and whatnot usually agree on most everything. You know, they have similar tastes, similar habits, similar interests. So the opposite attract thing leads to a lot of trouble later down the road after the what you say, the novelty wears off. He said, "I'm just joking, y'all relax." I guess they were serious. They thought you were serious. Okay, now you say, well, two people with the same interest is boring, boring. Yeah, but it's successful, you see. If you're saying, you know, my boyfriend's back and you're gonna be sorry, doing that kind of stuff. You know, if you want that kind of relationship, you know, you say, I want to go out with the leader of the pack. Rum, rum, rum. Then later on, you know, you hear him at work talking about, he's so terrible. I'm like, well, you wanted a tiger, and you got one. Now those tats don't look so great. Okay, studies show a beer a day keeps a spouse happy. I haven't read those studies. Have you ever tried for roses? How is it? I want to pick up some. Never tried it. How is it? Beat. What is he saying? Oh, Four Roses. Oh yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's not anything fabulous. Kind of like these. They're kind of bland, you know. It's just sort of ho hum. It's like, oh well, I got $20. I'll go buy Four Roses. It's fine. A lot of things are fine. Like most things you drink, you ever notice they're just fine. He says, neat. Hello, watching from Ireland, says Danny O'Neill. Oh, hello, Danny. All right. Man, this thing here is like almost an absolute tie. This one is more bitter, though. This one has more of a coffee bitterness, okay, like coffee grounds. It's very faint, but it has it. This one over here has more sugar. Oh, honey, honey. So it has more sugar. They're not the same. They're not even from the same place. One is from Louisville. One's from Western Kentucky. The other one's from Northern Kentucky. So I would just get whatever's cheaper. In this case, Gran Legacy. So Gran Legacy wins, not because it's better, really. It's just it's cheaper. So you get more, but you haven't lost. So it's a good trade-off. You pay less, but you get about the same. And that's always a great trade-off. Nice feeling, too. The label has like these raised plastic. It's almost like Braille. You know, it's like raised parts. It's weird. And it's nice. And it's unusual for such an inexpensive product. So I think this is the Glenmore's Old Thompson by virtue of its sugariness. Thompson, real name, not some made-up thing, not a fanciful name. Two Thompson brothers, like Nina said, the Thompson twins, who started a distilling company. Well, they actually bought a distillery, and they started Old Thompson, okay? Hugh says, hold me now. All right. So there you go. This is OT. Now, actually, I can't read up close with my glasses on, only far away. OT, ha ha. Okay. Got it right so far. I haven't gotten it wrong yet. Is Old Thompson really delicious and full of flavor? No, it isn't. But does it have some flavor? Yes, it does. Nut oil, vanilla, and a lot of sugar, and oak. But it's all very, 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 very faint. Grand Legacy, same thing. Faint, faint, faint. But they're not the same faint flavors. More of a coffee bitterness, maybe nut oil or something like that. But it's coffee like that bitterness. So what are the natural flavors? I don't know. You'll never find out. Sazerac, I mean, the Legacy Distilling Company, is never going to tell you. But you can kind of make a good guess by just tasting it. You get it. You'd probably be close. If you're not right, you probably wouldn't be far off. So yeah, I mean, they're fine. Somebody says, I like your rock gut reviews. Okay, rock gut, whatever you want to call it, cheap. Says premium. No, this one doesn't say premium. It's fine. And that one's fine. I'm in love with her and I feel fine. All right, so it's fine, but nothing to get too excited about. Grand Legacy sounds like a high-end old folks home. Yeah, Grand Legacy. Well, they probably have some bottles at some of those places. There's a nursing home just east of me, and I remember hearing about this lady years ago, and my neighbor across the street said, "Oh, Mrs. Whoever, Jeremy, I think she said, but I'm probably wrong, or Miss Jacob. Oh, every afternoon at 2 o'clock, she goes get a bottle from behind the counter, and they give it to her, and she has one glass of cream sherry every day at 2. That's all they give her. She gets that one glass of cream sherry." And I thought to myself, that sounds like something I would do now, and that was 10 years ago. Kind of like Highball Manor. Okay. Just acquired a bottle of Canadian Club. Wonder if it's sweet as sweet as the Thompson, says Nina Yordi. Canadian Club. Well, it is kind of sweet, but it's sort of in a more unusual way. Canadian Club, and they use natural flavors in almost all these Canadian whiskeys. It tastes sort of like honeycomb cereal. I shouldn't say that because now it's going to influence what you're tasting, but it has a very unusual, to me, it tastes like honeycomb. I know they can add wine to Canadian whiskey, but it has to be aged in small wood, which I guess means barrels. And that's not any kind of great accomplishment because most wine is. And then, or much of it is. Then they can use rum to flavor Canadian whiskey. There's your sugar. They could use brandy. There's your great flavors. They can use bourbon whiskey. All of that. So, and it can be up to 9.9%. So 9.9% of the volume could be flavorings from other, you know what I mean? Just like little bits of rum, brandy, bourbon. So, oh, those things can have some very exotic flavors, which some people like me. I'm one of the people that like it. Other people just are appalled by it. And they'll make statements like, that's not real whiskey. Yeah, it is real whiskey. Okay. It's just not maybe your type. It's an actual whiskey. It's not straight whiskey, but that's, you know, cornbread is not Heinz spaghetti sauce, but they both are real products. Cornbread, I guess you got to make yourself. You can get the Jiffy cornbread mix, but you know what I'm saying? Doesn't make it not real because it's flavored. A lot of food products are flavored naturally also, or artificially. No big deal. No big deal. Okay, so this was a more or less win-win situation. They were inexpensive. The flavor was all right. Not anything great, but then not bad. And even you could argue down into the B range. Yes, they could even justify as being literally good. I wouldn't say very good, no, but good. Depending on what you're looking for. Now Canadian Club run you about $11.99, so you're going to pay more, but you are getting a more flavorful product. Aged 5 years, that has an age statement. Not on the bottle, but on the website, they tell you very clearly, aged 5 years. Used to be 6. Ron, you have a nice collection, cans and bottles and comics. Yeah, the cans and bottles and then the comic books. But like I said, I bought the wrong one. So now I hope he isn't going to be difficult about it. I hope he just lets me trade, because if he's difficult, I'm going to say, here, you can have the book that I bought. You can have it. I'll give it to you. Even though I paid almost $5, you can have it if you're that greedy, because I don't need it. I'm not going to, no one I know cares about comic books, and they sure aren't going to buy it. Ain't going to buy it. And you're not going to sell this one any faster than you're going to sell that one, okay? But he'll probably trade. He'll probably trade. Hello, Sir Ron. You schooled us on that bourbon last night. Oh, thank you. Very good stream and educational. I thought it was really fun. Last night was great. Nina was part of it. And Eric said, I didn't know they made a cream ale, Narragansett. Well, they used to. I don't think they do anymore. That was 2013 when I reviewed that Narragansett cream ale. But it wasn't good. I gave it a C. It wasn't even good. And I guess a lot of people complained about it. They realized they better let Genesee make cream ale because they couldn't do it. So, Anyway, that's that. Thanks for watching this video production. Guess what? I got a taste challenge coming up. I was thinking about doing it live, but I said, nah, people are gonna. I'll just record it. It's gonna be Schaefer Light versus. Bye, Ron. Thanks. Bye, Maxwell. Schaefer Light versus Natural Light, and then Budweiser Select versus Natural Light. That'll be pretty exciting, huh? People say, oh, yeah, wow, I can't wait. I used to save bottles or cans from every new beer I tried until it started swimming into things. Oh, yeah, I had to purge my collection. I got rid of all light beer, and I had some beautiful light beer cans. I still have a few just because I can't bear to get rid of like a 1970-something Dixie Light. But other stuff, just dumped it. Schaefer Light versus Asbestos. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, the longer I view your shows, the more I realize the extent of your knowledge, says Bill. Very impressed. Well, I read a lot. Okay, what a thrill, says Nina. What a thrill. Natural Light versus Budweiser Select and Natural Light versus Schaefer Light. Doesn't get any more exciting than that, I guess. But I do have the cans, and I am going to review them and the bottles. So here we go. Later, I have to go do those videos. I have to go do those videos. And now what's coming up Saturday? Bergie versus Schaefer. Well, we can't get burger beer here. Nope, can't get it. And Schaefer's gone. I checked their website yesterday. Crescent Crown, it's no longer listed. 2 weeks ago, I checked. They had a picture of Schaefer Light and a description. Said 3.6. Had a locator tool. It's still on the locator tool, but when you look up their portfolio, no Schaefer. I said, oh, look, they dropped it. I guess they still have it on the locator tool because it's still available until they sell out their supply. Ronnie S says, the real Ronnie S is here. Cheers. Cheers back to you, Ronnie. I like the real one. I don't like the fake one. Maxwell says, smiley face. Okay, that's it. I'm out. Too long of a video. Thank you.